This is my review on Deja Vu Season 4, Episode 7. I was right, but I do love his confessionals there as well. I feel like he is one of the main cast members that's keeping it real in the confessionals and not just trying to look for a moment. I can't believe she basically nearly knocked her tooth out as well, to the point that's wobbly as well. Hopefully, now that's TVA able to cover the dental damages as well, and obviously get her tooth looked at as well and see if anything can be done. But it's crazy that this happened though. I do feel bad for Nola because she didn't really deserve that, especially when the incident had already been resolved. But also, what was confusing me was that she obviously, yeah, she wasn't gonna get that of Ivory from the way she was going, but it was mainly concerning that she went over to Wet Wet to try and resolve it, but you still didn't explain to Wet Wet from, because obviously it's like the mics were muted or something, it was like of low volume or something, and she didn't explain to Wet Wet what the reason was why she went over there. Because if she had said, this person told me that and that, I feel like Wet Wet would have maybe the next day or that same time would have asked to bring the person over so they all can have a conversation about it. But I am glad though that Wet Wet and Nola closed that chapter, so it's fine. So Naya's talking a lot in these confessionals, and I want to see how it goes for her at the reunion because she's really shading a lot of people, and obviously she is involved in some of the scenes, but mainly she's just a spectator, just sitting back watching and adding her 2 pence. Not saying that other people haven't done that as well, because like for instance, Mal, he adds his 2 pence, but I feel like sometimes he's involved in the scenes. Like for instance, when that whole Nola situation happened, no, not Nola. When the situation happened with Blicky, he was outside talking to him as well. When the thing with Sean happened as well, he's involving himself in conversation and having scenes or some sort of dialogue, even though it's not necessarily about him though. I also get where DTB is coming from as well, but if the beef or issues that people have with each other isn't authentic, then it's not really gonna make sense for people to just randomly start fighting each other though as well. So it's like, yeah, I get you want the fighting show as well, but also some people just come there to relax because it's not like how the other shows they're on as well, where they don't get to relax often every single time they're running fades. And it's crazy though how Now That's TV allowed Lele to come into the show, obviously to run the fade for, on behalf of Exotica, for about the fade with Joyce. But I find it even funnier as well because obviously Ivory and Joyce have like a love-hate relationship in a sense, and the way Ivory is trying to help Joyce out of her chains as well to fight Lele. Sorry, Joyce had me cackling when she said she's having second thoughts. Because now you're gonna fight someone your actual size. Not that she hasn't fought someone before actual size, but it's been a minute since Joyce has. It's the fact that Ivory wants to jump into the fade for Joyce as well, and so did Laurie as well. But I feel like the first round didn't go in Joyce's favor because I feel like she just wasn't putting her all into it though. So Joyce didn't win that first round. I feel like the second round Joyce got better as well, and she started using her weight more because beforehand she wasn't. That's why Lele was able to toss to the floor. This round, Lele lost. I'm also glad that they brought a replacement for Sean as well. He was very boring, but I get where people are coming from as well. Like, not everyone you want on 10 and stuff, but he didn't really have much dialogue as well. He's there for a good time, which is fine. But at the same time, you know, you're here to film a show as well. And, you know, if you're not involved in the physical altercations, they still want you involved in some sort of mess as well. And he wasn't. He just was there for a good time. So now when they brought this person around, it gave fuck around and find out. So for round one with Sean and ABM or ABM Ali, I'm going to give it to Sean. Sean won the fight. But then also what spun me was Ali basically in the confessionals. Well, yeah, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been this, like that. All that hard life for nothing because you couldn't even win the fight. Crazy. You'd think that, oh, you know, all this chat and all this other stuff you had, running your gums, you'd win the fight. I feel like the second round I'd give it to ABM because that one punch he gave Sean close to where the what do you call it, the stairs were, or the, you know, the circly stairs. My mind is blank right now. It looked like Sean nearly got knocked out. And then obviously from there, he kind of dominated the fight from there because it's like that punch woke him up. Obviously, his punches weren't really hitting the same, and then that one did. And for the third round, I would just give it to Sean because of the ending, but all the punches that both of them were throwing just felt like they were missing them. Again, overall, Sean won the fights. Out of the 3 rounds, it was 2 out of 3 he won. No, but the comments that got me was Miles' comment about Ali taking off his shirt. Then it was LaRue's comments about Ali talking about, as soon as I saw the shape, I knew. But it's like her accent when she did it. I'm sorry, that had me cackling. But it's clear that Laurie's switching up now that Sean won the fights as well. Now she's learning a bit more respect about him, whatever. And that's clearly what Sean said as well. Like, as soon as people saw him fight now, he's getting more respect. But I feel like because he came across as a pushover, because, you know, he was... Sorry, I'm a bit tired. As soon as he kind of like was coming across like a pushover, that's when everyone started like disrespecting him and says, "Oh, just shut up, man," whatever. But I think he was just being respectful and just keeping his boundaries and stuff. But now that he's fought and stuff, and people know he's got those hands, they're now respecting him more. They're like, okay, you couldn't fight, I'm gonna respect you. But yeah, I'm glad that him and Laurie squashed whatever they had. Fly 9 finally pulls up to Deja Vu as well, and she looks so good as well. But what really got me was Ivory talk about my wig's already slit. Because obviously Fly Night said before that her wig sliding back, all this other stuff, blah blah blah. And then it's Ivory talking about, yeah, my wig's already sliding back. I don't give a fuck. I'm thinking, please. And then it's the cameraman who is the dickhead as well, because you start showing the angle out of her hair like all the way back here, please. I really do hope that Fly Nine comes back for another season as well. 'Cause I feel like Deja Vu is a place that we can actually see her execute some looks as well. Because obviously, yes, on Mean Girls she does, but Mean Girls, it's like the quality, not quality, but like the outfits that they have to wear, they have to make sure that, okay, they're ready to get those torn and whatever. Not that you can't add Deja Vu as well, but it's like people are serving looks more, and it's more upper echelons, I would say, type of vibe compared to the other shows, not just in general, like what we class in society as upper echelon. But yeah. If we're going to be honest, the person that really should have got eliminated was Levi. Has no storyline, boring, just hanging on by a thread, wearing the same clothes again and again. We're getting tired of him. I feel like Ivory bringing up the whole thing with Exotica should have done something for DTB about the situation with Nola is void, because if DTB and Nola had already squashed the beef, why now are you picking up an issue that's already been resolved as well when I don't know if DTB communicated to Ivory that obviously the issue of Nola has been resolved when she came to the show, but it's like you didn't need to do all that to Nola regardless, because you can see that her and DTB are getting along, and same with everyone else. Now you just basically bullied Nola to a certain degree because you also snuck her off guard. This is why it also leads back to what Mel was saying as well. Like, you know, you can't really trust Ivory and stuff, because she'll say 1 minute you're good, the next minute she wants to just start sneaking people. We've seen her do this multiple times before with Sav, Renee, you know, all the time. I also skipped Levi's scene as well because he was just waffling too much for me. Because you already know how the show goes, it's DTB show. So when you're copping pleas with Ali or whatever in the background, nobody's trying to hear it because you didn't have to come up to him as well. You're just trying to prevent a fight from happening because you don't want to fight for DTB, and that's okay. But get off the show. When Joyce was throwing Exotica's belongings in the pool, it just reminded me of old BGC vibes. But I also don't understand why production and also security allowing other people to damage their property. Yes, it's water and stuff, but why would you let someone do that for? You should have locked people's rooms if that's the case. Because if it was someone else, like, you know, one of your, let's say if it was DTB this happened to, whatever, I doubt they'd allow that to happen as well. But you're allowing it to happen to Exotica because Exotica's like, in a sense, like disposable in your eyes. But I'm also thinking like it doesn't need to happen again, because now people are going to get too comfortable and keep doing this, sabotage people's clothes. Remember this happened on South Central Baddies as well, when they started putting bleach or putting other stuff in people's drinks, foods, whatever and stuff. Not bleach, sorry, it was something they put, or they mixed something, put chili or whatever it was in someone's drink. They're now damaging people's clothes and belongings. What's the point? And Exotica's talk about, oh, the clothes she has is good quality. Not me personally. Some polyester just isn't worth saving. And then also as well, it's given elasticated anyway, the type of clothes she's wearing. I don't see anything of high quality there. It's just giving Shein, or you know those boutiques that you find and you know it's cheap and cheerful prices. Because you talk about, look at the tags, look at the tags. It's not like it's Balenciaga, Givenchy, you know what I mean, Hermes, or anything like that. Any high fashion brand in sense, or it's not like a Telfar, Coach, whatever you want to call it. It's not a luxury brand she's wearing. I'm not saying that that doesn't mean that the clothes are quality or good, because for instance, you can shop at Marks and Spencer and you still get good quality. But I'm trying to say the clothes that she's coming with are replaceable. That's why she bought so many of those cheap outfits. It's crazy though, because I haven't seen Joyce and Fly9 together on a show since Greek Life, and I was just really wondering like when was the last show. But it was Greek Life. That's crazy. You know who's messy as well is production, or whoever the editor is as well, showing Ayana flipping Ivory like a pinata. Then I agree with Fly9 as well in regards to like she's one of the best dressed people on Now That's TV as well. So that's why I do hope that she's back on the show as well. And also I believe that she, obviously when you're friends with someone as well, you can get inspired by their looks as well. So I do believe that Ivory did take some inspiration from Fly9 as well. But I feel like also she's still I feel like Ivory's still learning how to dress in regards to like her new body as well and stuff. So maybe it could be a bit of body dysmorphia, who knows. Joyce is also very messy though, lying to Ivory, telling her that Fly9's hiding and all this other stuff and blah blah, when you just literally sitting down with her and she seems like she's just resting because she came from the club, and it's, I don't know, probably it's giving after 12. For honest, I want to go to bed. That's the type of vibe it's giving. Also, why did no one tell Joyce that her nose was running as well, and then just kept recording her as well with her nose running? Ivory just needs to take her frustrations out on someone, because obviously behind the scenes she was already having back and forth with Donye anyway, and Fly9 just seemed like an easy target at that point. Not saying that no one else was, but the way she was lashing out Nola is kind of giving that. I could tell that Laurie was annoying LaRue as well, because she was definitely pissy drunk. I don't know why Ivory's lying to about, oh, she wants to save the friendship. You didn't want to save the friendship because you were knocking on her door to fight her. But now you talk about, oh, you want to save the friendship. Now that she threw a drink, you're saying, oh, the friendship's out the window. It was already out the window beforehand. And this is my issue as well. They're showing us a little preview of the fight, but we're clearly not going to see that fight next week because they're showing Fly9 and Exotica next week. Obviously, then probably next week after, we're going to see the fight between Fly9 and Ivory.